thought for the day about optimization of health, physical and mental. And there's so many adverts on Instagram and elsewhere at the moment for like this program, this thing, that supplement, whatever will improve your life. There are so many things you can do right now that are totally within your power immediately. You don't have to spend a damn thing that will upgrade your health, both physical and mental. And these things are based on very, very basic things that we all know about, really. Improving the sleep cycle, improving the diet, and improving exercise, movement. So that all sounds really simple, and we all sort of know it, but it often doesn't translate because people think, oh, I need to make massive changes. Well, here's the thing. To change the diet in an ideal world, you'd want to move more towards a whole food diet. That's a diet of foods that haven't been processed or messed around with too much. Generally speaking, more veg, more legumes, more beans, more nuts, and fewer additives and less refined sugar. We all kind of know that, basically. I know there's lots of different people get hung up on what different diet, but that's the basic. That's the short version. Sleep, we just need ideally to aim for about 8 hours on average, preferably at night, not during the day. If you do shift work, obviously you play the hand you dealt, right? But 8 hours definitely. And then with exercise, we need to do a bit more, generally speaking. So how do we do that? Well, here's the thing. You don't have to be perfect. Aiming for perfection is not a realistic thing for most of us. But one thing I say to clients all the time is set a low bar and stick to it. Now, I don't mean by that keep yourself small. What I do mean is the way to achieve lasting change is to set a small, manageable goal and do it regularly. So, for example, with diet, rather than aiming to change your whole diet in a wholesale Tony Robbins go big or go home way, just aim to do something like eat one more portion of greens a day, drink a bit more water, and maybe don't have that biscuit at 11 o'clock that you normally have. And say with the sleep, rather than aiming to get your sleep cycle perfect, just aim to go to bed half an hour earlier. And you could maybe introduce something like a soft curfew at say 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, where at that time you stop watching any streaming of shows or stop watching anything on screens, no games, no computer games. Maybe listening to podcasts is okay, but no visual stimulation, etc. coming in. And then with exercise, rather than saying I'm going to go to the gym 4 times a week from now on, there's loads of stuff you can do at home. You could go for a 10-minute walk 3 times a week. You could do 5 minutes of stretching or 5 minutes of yoga every day. You could go for a wild swim once a week. You could, you get the idea. There's lots of free stuff you can do that just you can build into your life very simply, and it can take no longer than an extra 5 or 10 minutes a day max. And doing that regularly will bring in positive change over time. And you don't even need to be like mechanically consistent like some kind of robot. We all have crap days where you just want to lie on the sofa or not get out of bed. That's natural. So if you have a down day, that's all right. Just pick it up again the next day. So, and it's about change over time. It's not like about being an automaton, just letting go of that attitude where if you break it, then that's it, it's done. So the way to make lasting change is set a low bar and stick to it. Just be consistent over time. Small changes lead to big changes as time goes on. So doing all of these things will result in improvement. Now, does it mean if you do all these things, you're going to sort out your massive autoimmune disease or resolve your schizophrenia or borderline personality disorder or clinical depression or resolve your serious diagnosis, your Lyme disease or whatever? No, of course not. Very unlikely, at least. What it does mean in most cases is that will be a significant improvement. It will be, or there's some improvement. It will be better. You'll feel better. So most cases, making these changes won't result in a cure, but it will result in feeling better. And that, for something that is essentially free and will improve life across all parameters, is invaluable.